So here we are in the last week of trapping in December, and this is one of the old holes that we used last year and we caught some fishers out of. We had a body trap in here until we couldn't legally put one in anymore, and then we didn't bother to put in a foothold trap. And as you can see, coyote came in, walked up above the hole, checked it all out. Finally came in, got the bait. Even though we didn't trap it, I went ahead and put bait in the holes to get him used to going to some of the holes with no trap in them. If I had more time, I'd go ahead and put a foothold in now, even this late in the season. But time-wise, I just don't have it. So don't give up. So, December 12th, and you get depressed because you're not catching anything, and I end up taking scraps and spreading it out all over the place, just throwing it out, throwing a bone out here and there, give them a little bit of a freebie, and eventually it pays off. You just never know. Now, this dog's been coming in here for probably three-quarters of a week, and as you can see, it's stuck, and the wax dirt worked just great. And for starting out trapping, I highly recommend that you use it. Looks pretty cozy in there. And today we have a coyote with mange. But with the freezing temperatures, you can see that the wax dirt's been working just fine. And then we'll take care of the coyote and reset everything. Okay, so the hole right there. There's two traps right there. One there and one there. You can see how close these tracks came to the trap. It's like right there on the verge. So I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Get out of here. And as you can see, the coyote went up and around the hole. They like to go up above it. You can see the tracks right up there. To check out the hole from above, so on and so forth, get the smell. So it's getting to where it's not so scared of it anymore. So we're just going to leave it alone, and he'll eventually get the willpower to get in there and get that food, so we're just going to leave it alone, back out. Well, here we are, Thanksgiving morning in sub-zero weather, and look who came in. Mr. Coyote. It's pretty chilly. You hear the wind howling, snow's flying, and the wax dirt worked just fine. Okay, we dispatched a coyote, put the trap back in. They're both right there. Put a little bit of fresh bait in the hole. Like I said, I threw a little bit out. You can see a piece there. Let's see. There's another piece here by the tree. Right there. Just a piece of raw meat. And then I threw a little bit out there. Now I'm going to hurry up and get out of here and keep the scent down. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, this trap here, we're on the edge of a field. And we threw in earlier. And all we did was put a little bit of bait up under the tree. And right up in here with a little bit of coyote bait. And then right here at 2 degrees above zero is our trap. And it's the last day of trapping, so we have to take our traps up. When you do your trapping, you know, we talk to our students a lot about how you put the trap in the ground, and I noticed on YouTube somebody was talking about that, you know, to get more instructional video on how to put a trap in the ground. So what this is a chain stake system, and we take a rod, put it in the end of the stake and drive it into the ground, and then you tug on the side of it, tug it off to the side so it turns the bottom swivel and it locks it into the ground. Okay, I hooked it up with a dog link. Their tensile strength is 220 pounds depending which size you use. That's held the coyotes that I've caught. When you buy your traps, another thing you should try to do is have your J-hooks welded on your chains, on your swivels and chains. Eventually, when you catch enough coyotes, eventually those will pull out. Being in the middle of winter, we're going to leave these traps till spring, and I'll come back and pull them once the ground's unthawed. There's a lot of pressure on them, so we're going to leave these here till spring. This trap, I try to teach my students to use wax paper. Notice from the bottom how the wax paper is covering the springs. It's covering the pin. It's covering the dog where it hooks onto the pin right there. Just barely holding it. And that's what I teach my students. When you set your trap, I take my wax dirt. I'll take a hatchet, dig out a hole in the ground with a hatchet, take some of my wax dirt, put a layer on the bottom. Purpose of that, help keep the dirt from getting up into the springs underneath. Right here, there's a little bit of cracks in them. And when you get wet dirt in there and it freezes, then it freezes up the whole spring system. So then your trap doesn't go off very well. So I put a little bit of layer of wax dirt on the bottom. And I set my chain, trap, down in there. You want to wiggle it around till the trap doesn't move. And that way if a dog or something steps on the corner of it, the trap doesn't move. So you want it as solid as possible. Okay? Next thing you're going to do is take your wax paper. Doesn't really matter what size it is, as long as it covers the whole trap. The pan and the trigger and the springs. Okay? Take your wax dirt and from the top set it down. Okay? And then cover your trap up like that. I don't even pack the dirt. I know a lot of videos they talk about packing it down. I don't even do that. I just put my wax dirt on there and let it go. Okay? Now, some of you go, oh, well, you don't really need the wax paper. Well, the wax paper helps to shed the water off from all this, from freezing. That's one thing. The other one is, if you can zoom up, Willie, I push this trap down into there, and you can see dirt starting to get into the pan. Okay? We're going to cover this trap back up. Okay? Without wax paper, we just covered the trap up. The problem with that is, if you look underneath here, you can see how the dirt's getting underneath the pan. So once the dirt gets wet and it starts to freeze, it's going to freeze the pan there. So if you're getting traps that have paw marks on the pan and they're not going off, more than likely that's what's happening. The other thing that can happen too is when your trap system is in there and you get tracks on top of that, take a screwdriver or something and check the top layer of dirt, because that can freeze as the temperatures go above 32 and below. It causes a small layer of dirt to freeze on the top, and that also will help keep the trap from going off. Okay? Thanks. Hope that helped.